Time for us to do the news. In our first story, former news editor of the Enquirer, Raymond Archer, has described the demolition of his company, a printing press, on the premises of the Ghana Trade Fair Center as unacceptable. He says he's leaving the matters to his lawyers to deal with. According to Raymond Archer, no notification was served him, but admitted authorities of the facility some time back had said they were on a mission to redevelop the place and might carry out such an act. Mr. Archer is among over 10 people whose structures at the trade fair site were destroyed over the last 24 hours. Ifwa Evans Chinri has more in the following report.
More than 10 structures made up of shops and a printing press were demolished Monday dawn. According to Raymond Archer, a former news editor of the Enquirer newspaper and owner of the printing press, he took the case to court after authorities announced the intention to redevelop the place. Mr. Archer claimed an injunction was issued by the court to stall the demolition exercise, but authorities at the trade fair company carried out the exercise without their consent. He said he legally acquired the property and doesn't expect to be treated in an unfair manner.
What has been happening with us and trade fair is that about a year ago, they said that they wanted to redevelop the trade fair. So we said, okay, we're happy that the trade fair gets redeveloped, because it came to a point where we even had to bring light here. Things were not the best. Then they told us that, well, in redeveloping the place, we had to leave the trade fair. So I said to them, we're here not by the fact that we just came here and sat here and took your land and stayed on it. We applied for this land. You gave us this land. You supervise the construction of our factory. So even if there's going to be redevelopment, I thought the best thing was, one, to at least include us in the redevelopment, or two, to alert us that, okay, look, we think that we want you to leave, but these are the terms under which we want you to leave. They said they were not interested in anything. They just wanted us to leave so that they can bring their own businesses here. So it was one harassment after the other. So we decided that we're going to go to court. So we went to court and we got an injunction on the trade fair. Last Wednesday, they went to court to remove the injunction. And our lawyer immediately filed an appeal and a stay of execution and served them as at Thursday and Friday. This happened on Wednesday. So they were served on the last one on Friday. Then Sunday night, with all those things pending, they decided to come here and come and destroy the factory completely. At the end of the day, even if they were going by the judgment and they wanted to even ignore the other procedures that were pending against them, there are procedures legally to follow to come and do a thing like this. This is not, excuse my language, tomatoes we are selling here, that you can just get up one morning and move them away. We bought this equipment from 4 countries, India, China, UK, and the US. If we want to uninstall these machines, we will have to bring the engineers from the UK and from all these 4 countries back here.
Asked about what he intends to do next, Mr. Archer answered that his lawyers will handle the matter.
The way it works at trade fair is very simple. If you want to have a business here, you first will apply to the trade fair. Mind you, mine is not, I'm not renting a trade fair building. I'm paying them ground rent. I rented the land from them and built my own structure on it. So what I did was, that was somewhere over 10 years ago, I applied to trade fair that I had a packaging business that I wanted to set up. So I needed a facility to build a factory. They brought me here and allocated this land to me and collect rent religiously for the past 10 years. So to tell you, we are tenants here. We are legal tenants of the trade fair. So we will just now look at our legal, our lawyer, to look at the best way and the most legal way forward at the moment.
Authorities of the facility were unavailable to comment on the matter.
Accidents claim more lives than HIV/AIDS. Make it mandatory for all buses to have seatbelts. That is the latest appeal coming from the Welfare Secretary of the Circle New Plant Station, Kasim Al Hassan. His comments come in the wake of JoyNews Arrive Alive campaign That seeks to record the barest casualties possible in road accident this year and for many to come. Now, the country lost over some 2,280 citizens to motor accidents just in the past year, 2019 alone. And Kasim Al-Hassan believes it is time the Ministry for Roads and Highways took a new step to correct the canker. PSN Anaya Osafo has more in the next report.
It comes down to a matter of seconds when two vehicles collide. The body, originally in a state of rest, is thrust forward by the sudden shock. A dependable seatbelt is often overlooked, yet last line of defense holding passengers stable amidst the chaos. Mothers, children, fathers, old and vulnerable, who are often not strapped in, end up being propelled through the front or side windows. This often results in death.
According to Ghana's Road Traffic Act, enacted in 2004, a person of age 18 years and above who drives a motor vehicle or sits in the front seat or behind in the rear seat without a seatbelt commits a criminal offense liable to 6 months in prison. Also, it is mandatory for persons between the age of 5 and 18 to have seatbelt buckled on when driving or in a vehicle at all times. Unfortunately, for most parts of Accra, which JoyNews visited, the situation is far from being implemented.
For Welfare Secretary of the Circle Neoplan Station, Kasim Al-Hassan, seatbelt laws need to be enforced without fear or favor.
My recommendation is that the Minister of Road and Transport to coordinate with our authority, if I talk about authority, like National DPRTU and then other Protoa and other sister stations. So they need to be meeting to discuss the way forward, because accident is one of the things that takes our life than even is and wherever. It should be mandatory for every bus that carry a human being must have a seatbelt, because when you enter plane, every seat has a seatbelt.
In the meanwhile, JoyNews encourages citizens and passengers alike to speak up on road safety measures, particularly seatbelts in the country. Buckle up, arrive alive.
Well, just in case you also have videos, have witnessed a number of these infractions, accidents, real time, and you want to contribute to the whole debate and discussion as we bring you great content on the campaign Arrive Alive, make sure that you touch base with us. Facebook, JoyNews on TV is there for you, especially on Twitter at JoyNews on TV. Go look for the handle and add the hashtag AM Show, hashtag JoyNews, and more importantly, hashtag Arrive Alive. Well, let's move on. A teacher at Nkwanta South MA Redeem Basic School of the Oti region has caned a 9-year-old pupil to the point of injury for criticizing the taste of her Sobolo drink. Now, the pupil, named Withel, sustained multiple injuries on her body as she was severely beaten by her class teacher, whose name is just given as Madam Magdalene. According to Adum News, Kwame Owusu, the student was physically assaulted, and this happened last Friday after she complained to a friend in school that the Sobolo drink sold by the class teacher was not tasty enough. She said a friend threatened to tell the teacher after they had a disagreement and proceeded to tell the class teacher. According to her, the teacher called her and made her kneel down and called someone to bring a cane, subsequently to be used in lashing her. A student said even the intervention of a primary 2 class teacher who chanced on the incident did not convince the said Madam Magdalene to stop beating her. She told the reporter. The teacher subsequently then told the class she wants to leave marks on her body to take home to show for her lack of indiscipline. Now, the pupils claim the teacher also said unsavory things about her mother, Isha Razak. Mother of the 9-year-old said she is at pains and does not understand why the teacher keeps inflicting pain on her ward. According to the mother, the teacher takes delight in assaulting her daughter even for making a little mistake while in class, disclosing that this is the fourth time her daughter has come home with cane marks on her body. And she said the teacher calling her a whore in front of her daughter and other people is not something she will take lightly. She wants school authorities to take up the issue and deal with the teacher subsequently.
Sorry, that was Friday, last week Friday. I was in my room or my compound doing my 1-2-1-2. Actually, I was hearing somebody is crying, and I started asking, Ese, why? And Ese said, her madam beat her. And I asked her why, and she said, one of her friends bought ice, is it Yop Sobo? It's her madam. And she said she tasted and she said, is it sweet or why? And she also tasted it. And she saw, as for this Sobo, it's not sweet like the way the other one it is. And and they said her friend, it's not that friend, no, another one who sent the complaint to she's madam. And the madam also called her, she came and kneel. After she also go and kneel, and she sent some of the students, are there 4 or 2? And she go and brought him, find some 4 canes to him. And they also go find some 4 canes. And then go and find it for her. Before the girl kneeled down, then she started caning her, beating her rough. The girl also tried herself, want to run, but she refused. She also attacked the girl.
So in this case, did you report the case to the police? Did you report even this case to the headmaster of the school or even the education director? And then what do you intend doing? What do you expect that the baby...
Okay, I was not reported to the police, but I went to their school. After the school failed, then I went to the education office. Before I went to the education office, in fact, really, I couldn't find the senior director. It's just the assistant before I gave them that information. And they said I should come back to my house. So they will find out whether they will get the madam or senior director. If there is some problem.
So from there, did you hear from them?
Logically, the Ghana Education Service says it has started investigations into the case of the teacher assaulting the 9-year-old pupil who criticized the taste of a Sobolo drink. Jonathan Kosina, the Nkwanta South Education Director, said it was an unfortunate development and incident, and they will, as a service, get to the bottom of the incident.
One teachers, by GS policy, it's an abuse.
Children in schools are not to be caned. This is abuse and against GS policy. The teacher erred, and we have commenced disciplinary processes into the case. The child has been taken care of. She will be transferred to another school. Even me, if I err, I'll be punished. The case will set an example for other teachers to follow.
That's it, the latest news updates. But we have more news. Myself and Joseph Akable, we will look at stories occupying the front, center spread, and back pages of the newspapers we have in studio.